Macro, though, I always like to start your view on the environment right now.
Yeah, right now what I see is a huge emphasis by business in making sure that we are protecting our future. We know that it's in our long-term business best interest to make brilliant use of resources, make sure that we keep the future whole and ready. So this is what Siemens has been working on. Siemens' business strategy is actually built around global megatrends. And so creating technologies...
But there are megatrends that can drive you crazy and you can't take advantage of or not right away. And there are megatrends that are like, whoa, let's do it, let's run.
Or there are mega trends that aren't necessarily aligned with the views of a presidential administration.
Exactly.
And that makes it more challenging.
But it's hard to argue with things that are inexorable forces.
Like,
so we know the climate is changing. We know that people everywhere are aging. We know that everywhere more and more people are living in cities. Siemens brings technologies that transform the everyday, enabling us to really live, manage, and thrive in changing circumstances.
So we're going to continue with energy here, and that's where I want to start. Carol mentioned wind turbines, but here in the United States, the president has made clear his view on wind power. How much of a setback has that been for Siemens USA?
Well, I will clarify that my colleagues at Siemens Energy obviously have taken that on, and you've seen Siemens Energy thriving over the last year. At Siemens AG, the U.S. entity I'm responsible for, once those electrons are generated, we're the ones who are moving them. Medium voltage, low voltage, we're the ones working at the grid edge, which I think is where there's so much fruitful development to be done. So, yes, and I just loved your last interview. We need more power. Everyone understands we do. There's just insatiable demand for electrons. Actually, we're agnostic about how those electrons get generated. What we want to do is move those to where they're used best. Think AI data factories, think the kind of data centers we've been building. Think about manufacturing coming back to the United States. All of those are brilliant uses of the power that we can generate.
What can you tell us about the AI build out and what you guys are seeing firsthand?
Well, it's massive. It's massive. It is critical for the U.S. to maintain leadership in AI. We also know that one of the most exciting things that will happen is AI at the edge. So you can think about a manufacturing location as a humongous generator of data. Every factory is producing just massive amounts of data, more data than any individual could make sense of. But when you bring tools like our industrial AI Copilot into the manufacturing environment, it allows users to harness that data, make better decisions, really drive their operations. And we're seeing success all over the place.
What does it mean? Give us an example. So you bring the Copilot into what factory or whatever, or what plant facility, and it does what?
Well, so the first thing it does is makes it possible for mere mortals like you and me to actually interact with automated machinery. Instead of having to know the programming languages, we can speak in natural language and have the AI translate into the programming language of the manufacturing equipment. That allows us to employ people who maybe previously thought, I could never get a job in manufacturing. I don't know enough. I haven't had enough background in it. But now we can, I'll tell you that we have operations in Fort Worth, Texas, where we're actually building the electrical components that go into data centers. And with that incredible demand,
right?
The switchboards that manage that electricity, we needed to hire 700 people to work in the plant. And the local management said, let's hire retired principals and teachers first. Let's create an on-site training program. And now we have, you know, former pizza delivery guys, former chefs, former checkout clerks, are rock stars in the manufacturing environment.
You talked about the tool that your customers use when it comes to AI being a co-pilot. What about internally are you doing since we last spoke when it comes to AI?
Oh boy, you know, we are in that era when no one knows where this will go. So the encouragement at Siemens is for everyone to lean in, start learning, get familiar, get comfortable with using AI. And my favorite thing at the end of a business meeting, you know, let's say we call the meeting ends 5 minutes early, I turn to the team and say, what are you doing with AI? And I've heard the most amazing things, like the finance team who said, well, we just generated the balance sheet that we just reviewed with AI.
So it's much more informal than it is formal right now.
It is, and I'll tell you why. It's important that we learn. And some people would say, oh, no, I want to control that. I want to make sure that we're sharing best practices. Yeah, all that's good. But first, let's push the edges and see what we can do.
Do you think AI is going to make us all idiots?
No.
Because I think about what you said about anybody who doesn't even know the coding program can get there and talk and have a conversation. And I have this fear that we're just going to rely on AI to do everything.
Don't be afraid. Here's what this does.
I'm not afraid, and I played with it, and I'm blown away with it. But I also can see how, as it gets smarter and smarter and smarter and more specific in terms of fields, that it can do a heck of a lot.
It will make you more and more powerful then as you go. So think about AI as that super tool that will take the least among us, those with the least amount of background and expertise, and give us the knowledge and power to perform at a higher level.
Yeah.
This is going to be so exciting to see then, what do experts do with this additional power? How far can they push